Here we have another crazy story.
Friend and frequent collaborator of Lil Durk dead. According to Lil Durk's federal indictment, prosecutors say on November 6th of 2020, a man named DB, who was a high-ranking member of Lil Durk's Only the Family, or OTF, and the friend of Lil Durk, got into a fight with another person identified in the indictment as TB. The indictment says an associate of TB pulled out a gun and shot DB multiple times, killing him. Now,
Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and the subscribe button. Tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story. Little Durk. Is Little Durk gonna do the right thing by his friends? Or is Little Durk not gonna do the right things by his friends? Believe it or not, a whole lot of these individuals, for some reason, they don't want to do right by their friends for some reason.
You know, it is because he gonna really realize that a lot of those guys that you think solid and that you look at as brothers that you probably took care of and did things for, at the end of the day, that all crumbles. You know what I'm saying? When it's my ass or yours, it's gonna always be yours. And I witnessed that firsthand. I went down on a drug.
Imagine that. A lot of these individuals who are placed in these situations, that's what they say. Either me or you. So what I'm trying to figure out, is Lil Durk going to do the right thing if he really did what he's being accused of doing? Is he really going to take responsibility for his own actions? Or is he going to hope that somebody else, basically, take responsibility for him? Imagine that. Imagine somebody want you to take responsibility for something they did. Not just regular responsibility, but to put your whole life in jail forever. I have to admit, that's a heavy load. Matter of fact, that's what you call a real responsibility. Imagine that. Taking a charge for somebody. I have to admit, that's a real responsibility. Little Durk, not only is he facing conspiracy charges, matter of fact, he has a song named Conspiracy. I was listening to it. I said, wow. But let's get back to the topic. Lil Durk, not only is he facing conspiracy charges, he's dealing with the big boys. He's dealing with the feds. They said most of the times the feds always win. Imagine that. Unbelievable. The situation Lil Durk is in right now. Will he tell on his friends, or will he, take his licks like a man? I don't know.
Which was a lot easier to beat, and they, the time is a lot more lenient versus the feds. When you get in those federal palms, man, it's hard to come from up under that, man. They tell you as soon as you come in, everybody talk about the sign that you see. It say, why do 10 when you can do a friend? You know what I'm saying? They say, they say it's
unbelievable. That's how it is in the feds. Why do 10 when you could do a friend? Imagine that. Believe it or not, they said a whole lot of these individuals in the feds, they wish they could tell on somebody. Believe it or not, it's not just Big Meech. It's not just, I can keep going down the list. It's everybody. Everybody wants to talk for whatever reason. I mean, I have to admit, maybe one or two don't want to tell, because you know what? Sometimes those one or two, they don't have nobody to tell on. Imagine that. I don't have nobody to tell on. Imagine that. Crazy.
It's three types of people in here. Those that told, those that wish they told, and I think it's those that want to tell but got done. They made it to the microphone too late. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different ball game. The feds is.
Imagine that. Made it to the microphone too late. That's what I'm saying. A whole lot of these individuals, sometimes, you know what? They say, you know what? I'm not going to tell. I'm going to stand, I'm going to stand tall, solid. Then they're in those jail cells for so long, for so many nights. Then they start thinking, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm ready to tell. But imagine that. It's too late now. It's a crazy thing. Imagine that. These individuals in the feds, all they want to do is get out. It's a crazy thing.
They wicked. They wicked.
So unfortunately, they said Lil Durk, if he's going to tell, he's going to have to tell now. I mean, maybe he doesn't have anybody to tell on because they said he's the top man. Imagine that. They said that he might be the leader. I don't know. But it's crazy, though. All these individuals in the feds, is that the truth? All they want to do is tell and get out? I mean, Big Meech did it. Why not? Why not? Unbelievable.
They play those games. They got unlimited resources to where they're going to apply that pressure and they're going to put so much time on you to where it's going to make you think. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in those federal jails, man, more people tell than you could ever imagine. You know what I'm saying? They not going to play.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Is that the truth? I believe so. More people tell than you could ever imagine? Imagine that. It's an unbelievable world we live in. That's why they say you can't trust nobody. But I mean, I have to admit, most of these individuals are criminals. You can't expect a criminal to really be a stand-up citizen, could you? I don't know. I don't think so, though. Unbelievable.
And they letting you know, if you want a chance at coming home, this is the only way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going to ask you if you got something you want to tell us, because if you come back later and try and tell us, it's going to be too late. Why? Because somebody else that already told it. So you ain't got nothing to tell. You know what I'm saying?
It's an unbelievable world. Everybody's telling each other. So hopefully Lil Durk would do the right thing. If he did, whatever he's been accused of, and don't have nobody go, don't try to throw anybody under the bus. Take responsibility for your own actions. But either way, as you can see, he's saying everybody in the feds is telling. If they're not telling, they want to tell. It's a crazy world we live in. They say you can't trust nobody. I've known that for a long time. Some people, they can't even imagine that. I'm not going to say that. Only thing I do know, when the feds come, what are you going to do? Are you ready to tell or not? Give me a few minutes. A few minutes? Are you ready to tell or not? Right now. Okay, I'm ready. Unbelievable. I don't know a lot. Only thing I do know is crime don't pay, but I see them do it. Do I see them do it?